Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Mike McCarthy officially out in Dallas as the two sides agreed to mutually part ways. He is expected to have interest from the Bears and Saints, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said that Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is a name to watch in their coaching search. One more game coming up tonight in the Super Wildcard round, Vikings and Rams. It's coming up at 6:30 right after Extra Innings.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Good evening and welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate y'all listening, however that may be, whether you're listening on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in online at sasportstar.com using our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching our show on YouTube, we stream all of our shows live via YouTube. Just search at SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You're able to comment along. Like Goldfinger123 already in the chat says he used my promo code KTFM for the DraftKings Pick 6 and got $200 in his account. Way to go, Goldfinger. Hopefully you get tonight. You throw in some higher and lowers on projected stats, and you end up with a little bit more money in your bank account by the end of the night on tonight's game. The big news, of course, is the Dallas Cowboys, who stole all of Wildcard Weekend's thunder with today's decision to officially part ways with Mike McCarthy, making him unrestricted free agent to go search out jobs that he would find intriguing to him, already being attached to the Bears, which we knew because they had requested to interview him, and the Saints, where he has a history with as well, and an opening. But for the Cowboys, it's a much deeper question of who do you get to replace Mike McCarthy, who, despite everything, still went 49-35 in 5 seasons. In his 2 seasons, they didn't finish with an over 500 record. Dak Prescott went down for the season in both of those relatively early. And it's interesting because everybody likes to tout the Cowboys as this banner job for coaching and coaches across the league. Troy Aikman was just on Monday Night Countdown with Scott Van Pelt and was asked about that current Cowboys coaching opening now.
Well, I thought Mike McCarthy would be the head coach. So this is a bit of a surprise for me today that he's not going to be. And what went into those conversations that Schefter talked about, I'm not exactly sure, but it suggests that there's not a real plan. I mean, and the fact that they haven't had the opportunity to maybe interview a Ben Johnson and some of these others, Aaron Glenn. I think that what Schefter said as far as Kellen Moore being a candidate, that seems logical to me. A guy who has familiarity with the building. He's worked obviously with the Cowboys and with Jerry Jones, and they know each other very well. In fact, when Mike McCarthy got the job, it was told to Mike that Kellen Moore would be the offensive coordinator. So that's how much the Jones family thinks of him. Beyond that, it's hard to imagine. As far as a coveted job, I don't know that that's accurate. I mean, really? I do think the Cowboys are obviously a high-profile team. Whoever is covered or whoever is head coach of that team is certainly going to draw a lot of attention. But I think most football people that take over as a head coach, they want to do it on their terms.
That's
and
fair.
That's hard to do. And it's, if you take a Dan Campbell, for instance, is Dan Campbell if he's with the Dallas Cowboys? It's hard to imagine that he is. It's hard to imagine that a lot of these coaches might be. So I love the Dallas Cowboys. I played there for 12 years. I wish them well. But to say that it's a coveted job, I'm not sure I would necessarily agree with that.
And it's true. And I've echoed this for a while just because it's the Cowboys, but it's also the dog and pony show. And while you get a lot of notoriety being that Cowboys head coach, there is very little control that you have with the Cowboys. And it's evident because, Jerry Jones is going to run the show. He's going to make the picks, and he's openly said, we're going to do things my way. And everybody's going to adjust to that, and he will take other people's information and apply it to his final thought process. But his final thought process is the one that matters the most. And as a new head coach or a hot and sought after head coach, I should say, when you have multiple options, why would you choose the option that's going to put the most amount of constraints on you into implementing however you want to do things? And that may be just from a culture standpoint in terms of the way that you want to run your organization. And when you have to constantly go on a press conference every day and respond to something the owner may have said, or you've heard Mike McCarthy talk about it multiple times of, we're going to keep that between us and, see if we can address that later in the week. And reporters will be like, Jerry said today on 105.3 The Fan that this is what's happening. And you can tell that it weighed on Mike McCarthy in a sense, in the way that he runs his, and same goes for the players. If you're trying to reprimand somebody and all they have to do is go above your head, the head coach should be the final authority when it comes to the roster, the team, and the players on it. And when people can circumvent that, it leads to friction between players, coaching staff, front office, and it all kind of melds into one. And if you're Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn, or name a hot candidate in any year that you would be willing to choose one where they have multiple opportunities in front of them, why they would choose the Cowboys over one where they would have more control likely and be granted that control to do their thing. One of the things I thought was really interesting was after the playoff game, Magic Johnson and Josh Harris, the new ownership group for the Washington Commanders, talked about their blueprint on how they got back to in the playoffs, winning a playoff game for the first time since the mid 2000s and everything that went into it. And I thought their answer was very, very telling.
You said, what does it take? New vision, new owner with a strategy, picking the right people. First, our coach, Coach Quinn, Adam Peters, and then we all step out the way and let them do their job.
Talent, culture, and people.
There it is.
Talent, culture, and people.
So that's it. Don't make this about us.
Don't make it about us. Talent, culture, and people. Where with the Dallas Cowboys, it's about Jerry Jones and the head of the spear. It starts there. And I've said that for a long time. We can blame all the coaches, all the players, but everything starts at the top with Jerry Jones, and it's by design, and it's by his design. And he even mentioned it after that Commanders loss. And when he talked to the media about, hey, you ever think about maybe not being the GM?
No, just no. I bought the team. I think the first thing that came out of my mouth. Anybody here was at that press conference? Okay, somebody asked, did you buy this for your kids? And I said, hell no, I bought it for me. And I didn't buy an investment. I bought an occupation. and I bought something that I was going to do. I was 46. I bought something I was going to do for the rest of my life. The facts are that since I have to decide where the money's spent, then you might as well cut all the bullshit out.
And that's the difference in other organizations and the Dallas Cowboys. And it's very, very interesting to kind of start thinking, who could the next Dallas Cowboys head coach be? Realistically, who could it be? I don't think it'll be Coach Prime, mainly just because those two egos together at the same time, both trying to steal the spotlight. I don't know how well that works in terms of success on the field. You look at other coaching candidates, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, whoever you want to. That's kind of why Jerry's gone to, the Jason Garretts and the Mike McCarthy's. And it's people that Mike McCarthy was out of the league. He did not coach at all the previous year after leaving Green Bay. And it's not like people were banging down his door the next year to get that job. He took that job because it was available and there weren't many other opportunities for him. The same with Jason Garrett. He was brought up from within, which is kind of why I agree with the Kellen Moore thought process. He is someone that knows the culture, knows what it's like, knows inside the building and dealing with Jerry and how all that's going to have to happen, and is accustomed to it. So it wouldn't be a huge shock to him in terms of how things are done. What say you? Who is your realistic thought of who the Cowboys' next head coach could be? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Martin dialed it up. Martin, what's going on, man? What do you think of the Mike McCarthy situation and where the Cowboys need to go at head coach?
It's a joke. He never intended to. He doesn't intend to get a real coach. The only thing was McCarthy was years. He would. So that means he would have kept him if it would have been a year or 2 years. Come on, how dumb can you be? I told you, the Cowboys are never going to be where they were back in the '90s. Because they have some of the dumbest fan base from San Marcos down south. For real, I am for real.
Look,
for real.
I know some Cowboy fans or T-shirt fans that are going to be overbearing, but I do know a lot of very, very smart Cowboy fans that understand how it works and what to expect from this team moving forward and how to realistically keep those expectations in check.
I'm serious. South Texas Cowboy fans are the dumbest fans I have ever seen. Ben Johnson is not going to be a coach, and I'm going to tell you why, and you can take it what it is, because of the color. He wants a yes sir, no sir. He just wants somebody there, just whatever. Man, why does your station even cover the Cowboys other than y'all need a job?
Look,
for real. I was born 1966. I'm a Tom Landry, Jimmy Johnson coach. A fan. For real, this team's a joke. I hope next year they go 3 and whatever.
I understand and I get the frustration, Martin. But if there was a candidate out there that has not been Johnson, because I do not believe it will be him. Is there a candidate, though, that could change your perception?
He might as well hire Elmo,
I got you. Well, I appreciate the phone call, Martin.
For real, guys, y'all are a joke. I mean, these Cowboys fans are a joke. But you know what, though? Go Rockets! They're on the move.
They are on the move. They are second in the West right now. So
they just need one more player, a big time player, and they can win it all.
Well, I appreciate the phone call, Martin.
And you know what? Go Cougs. Next year they're going to have a badass team.
They will. I mean, Kelvin Sampson keeps that team near the top and does a great job. Look, I see in our YouTube comments, Doug Peterson's name's mentioned. I could see that as a Jerry Jones type of hire, 100%. I could see Ron Rivera being that type of coach that he brings in as a recycled Cowboys fan or recycled coach that would be happy to be back in the league as a head coach. I think Kellen Moore is, Jerry, because I've said this a long time. Jerry wants to win a Super Bowl. He does. He just wants to do it his way to where he can receive the credit for said Super Bowl like he never got with the ones with Jimmy. And Kellen Moore is the guy that was the backup quarterback there. He joined the coaching staff. He worked his way up to offensive coordinator, and now he's gone on and done things at other locations to have other influences on his coaching career, which Jason Garrett never got. So he's brought in stuff from Sirianni and the way the Eagles do things offensively. He was with the Chargers and Staley and Herbert for a year. And now we can bring him home and say, this is the guy that we groomed. We allowed him to go out and handpicked kind of next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. That wouldn't shock me at all. I don't know. More of your phone calls coming up here in a minute on Extra Innings with Pledge. Plus, we'll get into that Texans game as they surprised everybody, even me, on Saturday. Now, I thought they could win. I didn't see it coming like that. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the NFL wildcard weekend finally ends. We'll talk about Minnesota, or is it the Rams?
And the Spurs back in action after a little mini break. Did Spurs get back on track? We'll talk about it all. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Michelle Smallman here for the Capital One Venture X card. If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, you can earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary travel. And you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus, you'll get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good morning, beat freaks. Who's ready to move? Let's start this day right.
Tasha's morning dance parties are meeting rave reviews.
Lose your phones and find your groove.
They need an ops manager to help their community dance the morning away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate y'all rolling through with me tonight. Of course, everything is available at sasportstar.com and our AA Best Bail Bonds audio vault if you missed anything. But I want to get to your calls. Lots to be said about this Cowboys coaching staff. The Texans' big win. We'll finish up with the Cowboys coaching search and the way things are going to go. Wes, welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge, my man. What's going on?
Pledge, oh my Lord. The one thing I will never do is ever deny my fanhood for the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, not a Jerry Jones fan. And it's really hard to separate those two. My 11-year-old son said to me, Dad, how would Jerry Jones get fired? And I said, he'd have to fire himself, and that will never happen. So, yeah, I know, we were talking right before that we got on, and I'll be honest with you, I think we're going to hear the same names. You're the Kellen Moores, the Cliff Kingsburys, Mike Tomlin should probably get considered, and yet he would be like another McCarthy 2.0, really. But, I mean, outside of that, it's funny to see all these rumor mills come about as if people who had sources within sources and sources that are saying, well, Bill Belichick would have taken it, and he said nobody ever called him and gave him enough time. But,
I saw that.
Maybe Pledge, that's why Troy Aikman's statement about this not being a coveted position is absolutely true. The media will make this an entire zoo, and you'll hear all sorts of speculation. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to be underwhelming. Do you believe any different?
No, because the ones that may be good for the job, like, let's say, Kellen Moore, I think, I don't think he would get a huge reaction from Cowboys fans because a lot of people still believe when Mike McCarthy said we need to learn to run the damn ball when he got rid of Kellen Moore, that they believed him. And truth be told, the Cowboys did run the ball under Kellen Moore, and they were top 10 in rushing both years he was the offensive coordinator. It's just Mike McCarthy wanted to call plays, and he had no intention of running the ball when he decided to call plays.
Well, and let me ask you this, and this goes back to the same idea. How divided do you see the actual former players? So Des Bryant was tweeting out immediately how glad he was that this was occurring. Obviously, he was not a fan of Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. That's obvious. But now you see Troy Aikman saying what he's saying, and, you know, other Cowboys have tweeted out and said, you know, this is concerning from a business side, and there's Coach Prime's name out there. I mean, is this the most fractured you've ever seen a franchise of this magnitude's, you know, former players?
No. I mean, I've seen them fractured before with the former players surrounding the Cowboys, but this is definitely as open as it's been. But it's also between podcasts and visibility and just getting players on and putting a clip out on Twitter. This is probably the most divided you've ever seen it, just because of the amount of information we are able to consume at one time. And I do believe that there needs to be at least a conversation with the Aikmans, with the Irvins, with the Emmets, and really sit down and have a tough conversation with Jerry if this is going to change in any way, shape, or form.
Well, lastly, I'll say this, and I appreciate you taking my call. I just want to say this. The Cowboys will be there long after Jerry Jones is not. And so anybody who wants to jump ship and call this a crapshoot with Jones, yeah, we all know it. But those of us that are on board right now, it's like anything else. You got to ride the tough times too. So I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate the phone call, Wes. Oh, man, it is going to be a fun couple of weeks as this all unfolds. We'll get more into the Texans coming up tomorrow, but we got the final wild card game, Rams and Vikings coming up next, presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's Texas Divorce.